Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NDTV's flagship series, India Through the Eyes of Its Icons. And joining us today is a man who transcends generations of Bollywood and whose generations transcend Bollywood. Mr. Rakesh Roshan, welcome to NDTV.
Thank you, my pleasure.
I'm going to take that thought forward with you, Mr. Roshan, that your career actually spans decades and you have witnessed the transformation, the cultural journey of India as well. And through that, Bollywood's changes. How has the journey been?
Very interesting scene from days where we used to write letters, send telegrams, do lightning calls from outdoor shootings, to today's date where things have changed, where you can talk on your mobile anywhere in the world you are. So there are a lot of changes we have seen. I've seen, and my age people have seen. It's all for the good. So happy about it.
And Mr. Roshan, tell me something, that you are somebody who has donned many hats. Star, director, producer, and in so many ways now in the latest segment of an offshoot of Bollywood, which is OTT. What do you think, over the years, that journey of the cinema, the journey of Bollywood itself, how has that evolution been? Do you think that it has come to a stage where you would be satisfied with it, or we could have done better? Of course, we all know that Bollywood is one of India's story's principal drivers.
I would say that though generations are changing, so we are trying to keep up with the generation. So what movies were made in 60s and 70s and 80s, we kept on improving. And today what films are being made, the younger generation, they have not been the generation of our time who used to love to see wholesome films. इसमें गाने भी होते थे, कॉमेडी भी होता था और एक्शन भी होता था. So it used to be a wholesome film. But today's generation, I think, the younger generation, they like to see niche films and shorter films. They don't have much time. तो पिक्चर की लेंथ भी 2 घंटे, सवा 2 घंटे में ख़त्म होनी चाहिए. पहले होती थी 3 घंटे की पिक्चर. So this is the change I'm seeing, but I still feel that films which were made earlier with the wholesome entertaining films, they still do very well at the box office. Because basically there has to be emotions in the film. Bollywood का हो या Hollywood films हो, जब तक emotions ना हो तो उसका चलना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. And we used to make wider films. हमारी फिल्म झुमरी तलैया से लेके एलए तक देखते थे लोग, ऑस्ट्रेलिया तक देखते थे. अभी जरा पिक्चरें छोटी बन रही है, नीश बन रही है और बहुत रियल बन रही है. अच्छी बात है वो, लेकिन रियल ज़िंदगी में जो लोग रह रहे हैं वो भी पिक्चर देखने इसलिए आते हैं ताकि दे ऑल्सो वांट टू सी अ ड्रीम. वो देख नहीं पाते हैं, तो वो जो घर पे हो रहा है उनके, वो यहाँ पिक्चर में दिखते हैं. So maybe that's why the audience has become lesser to come to the theaters, and they see movies on OTT platforms at home. But हम जो पिक्चर बनाते थे तो हम लार्जर देन लाइफ बनाते थे. कहानी भी हम एक we used to take fairy tales and we used to make them into a movie, and good locations and good songs. So people used to get connected. But as generations is changing, things are also changing. So we have to wait and see. We are in between now. Neither people are liking the old school, nor they are liking the new school. So we have to wait and see where it takes us.
You've made an interesting observation regarding storytelling. I mean, it should be larger than life. Perhaps that will get audiences to the theaters. But you are someone who did that family drama in 1980s, and also the high-tech fiction, that, you know, science fiction that you created.
Yes.
So, you know, you created the first Krish that India could see. Superhero. So do you think that works better, or India is at that cusp where it is still deciding which way to go?
No, that's what I'm saying. See, even Krish is a wholesome film. It is not that I just made a superhero film. It had a good story, it had a good emotions in it. And people believed in the story. Because I went on a very slow transition, showing a boy who is in the village, who can jump from one rock to another rock, who can climb trees, he has those powers. Then how a girl from Singapore comes to that hill station, and how they fall in love, and how he's taken there, how the grandmother has given her a promise that you will not show your powers to anybody, and how a situation comes where he has to wear the mask because he has given a promise to his grandmother that I will not do anything, I will not show my powers to anybody. And he becomes Christian. So this was a transition. It was just not a superhero film. So,
And you said, as you said, you made a wholesome film.
a wholesome film. So it had songs, it had music. So it was in a wholesome film.
You loved songs.
I love songs because I belong to a family
Yes.
where it's in our DNA. And usually everybody likes songs. If you go and see today, all the Indian Idol and the young girls and the young boys who sing, they all sing old songs. They're not singing any new songs.
Mr. Roshan, it's very interesting that in our brief conversation till now, you've mentioned the word story a lot of times. And I was talking to, for this series only, Maria and I were talking to Mr. Salim of Salim Javed fame. And he said that one of the reasons of the relative pale Bollywood, relatively paler Bollywood, what we are seeing today, is that because we lack good stories. As a creative man, as a producer, as a director, primarily as an actor, do you also think so?
Yes. You see, what happens is that they do take new stories. New stories are there, but they don't package it well. Packaging is very important. And by packaging, I'm saying good locations are there, good songs are there, and something which pads up your story so that more people can come and see the film. तो वैसे हो नहीं रहा है. क्यों? पता नहीं, यंगर जनरेशन शायद उनकी सोच जो है वो अलग है और शायद वो सही है. तो हम भी ऐसे सोच रहे हैं आने वाले 10 साल में शायद वैसी पिक्चर चलेंगी और हमारे पिक्चरों में कहेंगे बहुत ओल्ड स्कूल की पिक्चर है.
You are a pragmatic man, I must say.
लेकिन southern cinema, I mean, they are doing really well.
Yeah, they're doing very well because they're still on the same grounds what we were. They make a wholesome film with technically very advanced technically. They have VFX and all that. But story-wise, they are very grounded still.
So among all your films, and particularly, you know, you have Karan Arjun and others, which is the film closest to your heart?
Now, all films what I made is close to our heart because I made all different kind of subjects. Like Khudgars was on True Friends. Then I made directly opposite film called Khoon Bhari Maang with Rekha. And then after Khoon Bhari Maang, I thought, now what should I make? I was very fond of this film, Ram or Sham. So I made Kishan Kanhaiya with Anil Kapoor. So then I made King Uncle with a small girl and a very rigid, very disciplined person, Jackie Shroff, who played the character in the film. So then I thought what to make, so I made a film on reincarnation. So I didn't repeat myself. My success, my films which did well at the box office, I never repeated myself. I made different kind of films. After Karan Arjun on reincarnation, unbelievable film, a fairy tale. It did very well at the box office, and then I made Koila with Shah Rukh, who's dumb.
Yes.
And then I had not made romantic films. So I made all these kind of films, then I thought of making a romantic film. So then I thought of Kaho Na Pyar Hai.
And then you launched your son.
And I lost my son in that. And then after that what? Then I said कि मैंने romantic film ही बना लिया, अब क्या बनाऊँ? So then idea came that let me make a film with Hrithik called Koi Mil Gaya, where he plays a kid, a mentally challenged boy. And star तो बन ही गया है वो कहो ना प्यारे से. Let me show his acting ability. Because as an actor you can stay much longer than a star.
Mr. Roshan, you mentioned Shah Rukh Khan. You've had interesting pairings with Shah Rukh Khan. You've had interesting movies with Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Tell me something, in your view, as a man who has seen generations, what is it that sets people like Shah Rukh Khan apart from the others in the industry? What is it? What is it one thing that sets them?
For me, I'll tell you that I saw his Fauji, one episode, a friend showed it to me, and I was highly impressed by him. And it so happened that I was having dinner in Kemp's Corner. There was a restaurant called China Garden, and I saw Shah Rukh sitting there and having dinner with somebody, a friend of mine, common friend, Vivek Vaswani. So I got up from my table, I went to his table and I told him that you are a very fine actor, why don't you join films? And he said, no, I don't want to do films. I said, anyhow, this is my number. If you want to, you can call me because I have got a subject which is ready. And I can cast you immediately. So next day he called me up and he came and then I signed him for King Uncle. And so that's how, so there is something which pulls you. There are some actors who have this, what do you call, I don't know, something in them, something in them where they attract you.
Some magic?
Some magic. And that Shah Rukh has, that many of the actors have, Amitabh has.
Magnetism.
That magnetism. Same thing, not because he's my son, Rakesh Roshan. But यहाँ तक कि when कहो ना प्यार रिलीज हुई तो I was, people used to come and meet me कि हमारा 3 साल का बच्चा है, वो खाना नहीं खाता जब तक कहो ना प्यारे नहीं देखता है. उसको दूध पीने के लिए हम खाना को पिक्चर दिखाना. अब who is Hrithik Roshan for him, the small kid? Nobody. He doesn't know who is in. But there has to be some power, in some magic in them, some magical power, some magical connection with the eyes. So that's what makes them superstars like Shah Rukh is and like Salman is and like so many.
But you paired stars, you paired superstars, which was almost unthinkable during those days. You know, Shah Rukh and Salman coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, and you say, you narrate a very interesting story in that documentary where you say that Shah Rukh had said no, and then you went to Amir, and then Shah Rukh said, please cast me instead. So, you know, you have this thing of actors fighting to work for your film.
So Shah Rukh actually didn't believe in incarnation. ऐसा बोला ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है कि 2 बच्चे 2 लड़के मर गए और दोबारा पैदा हो गए वापस आते हैं रिवेंज लेने के लिए. तो मैंने शाहरुख को समझाया कि मैंने शाहरुख ये एक फेरी टेल्स होती है, ये कोई सच्चाई तो है नहीं.
You don't have to.
You have to make people believe कि ऐसा हो सकता है.
That's what the job of an actor is.
And that's the job of a filmmaker also.
Also.
But he still didn't believe, and then I went to Amir and then I went to Salman and they both agreed. So when Shahrukh came to know that I'm doing it with Amir, he came back to me and he said, नहीं आपने मुझे ब्रेक दिया है, आपने मुझे रातों को नींद नहीं आ रही है कि मैंने आपकी पिक्चर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं करूँगा जैसे आप कहेंगे वैसे मैं करूँगा. और फिर then he came in again.
And then Rekha in Khoon Bari Mang, and that's a highly feminist film, a woman-centric film, which does phenomenally well at box office. And that idea in itself of Rekha doing that film, how did it really come? There were several other great actors at that time.
And to talk to that feminism point, you yourself as an actor did a lot of movies where women had a very strong character in the movie.
Yeah, that was not of choice. You had no choice.
So you said you would perforce you did.
Yeah, because I got such roles that big heroine, no role for me, but I used to do it. But when I made the idea came of Khun Bari Mang, I could only figure one actress who could do it was Rekha. And if Rekha would have said no, I wouldn't have made that film. So I went to Rekha and narrated her the story. And she liked it very much and she said yes in the very first go. But then some people around me told me that, you are taking a very big risk. क्योंकि हमारे हिंदुस्तान में औरतें जो बीवियाँ जो हैं वो अपने पति की पूजा करते हैं, वो कभी मारेंगे नहीं, माफ़ कर देंगे. तो मैंने सोचा नहीं, यही तो मेरी ये प्लस पॉइंट है पिक्चर की कि वाई शुड अ वुमन नॉट
Take revenge.
Not
hit back.
Yeah. So I went to Rekha again and I said, do you have this feeling? He said, no, I am on the same page as you are. Because I was thinking whenever you were narrating that in the end वही होगा कि मैं compromise कर दूँगी. पर आपने वो किया नहीं, आपने रिवेंज के एंगल पे गए, वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. So her saying this gave me a lot of confidence. And I made the film.
And tell me something, when you work with people like Rekha, and when you work with people like Shah Rukh Khan, and when you will work with people like the next generation, completely new, fresh, what does it take to be working with all of these superstars of their era, transcending generations, transcending all ages? What does it take?
One thing is common in everybody, that they're very talented. And they understand what the director wants, what a filmmaker wants, what the story wants. They work on it. So that's one very common thread every fine actor, very good actors have in them. It's not that I'm taking Ritik to Ritik में कुछ और बात है, या शाहरुख में कुछ और बात है. They justify the role what a director wants. They understand, and that's the best part, And I, being an actor myself, it was very easy for me to explain them what I want. So they were very easy with me to work with.
And I asked Mr. Ramesh Sippy yesterday that, with the technology, of course, things change. But has OTT now changed the Bollywood forever?
You can never say forever, because when video came, we also had the same question: has video changed? It didn't change. This might be a temporary phenomena, because people also, when they sit at home a lot, they also want to start going out. And when good films are made, they will go out and see the film, because going to a theatre is like a picnic. But we should make good films for them, to pull them out of the houses.
Which is the last film, according to you, which you saw, was in the category of a good film?
A good film I saw was Lapata Ladies. Was a very, very good film, very well made film. Then there was another film which I liked very much, was Vinod Chopra made 12th Fail.
Right.
But then these are also very well made film, very good films, but one direction film only. But other side I saw Pushpa, and I liked it immensely because it took you to another world. So both the tracks are good. One is a very commercial track, and one is a good film track. So it depends on the filmmaker that he wants to make only a niche film, or he wants to make a popular film where the whole world can come and see.
Mr. Roshan, tell me something, that from the legends that are there in this room, you have certainly seen, almost the entire evolution of Bollywood over a period of more than 5 to 6 decades. Do you think that with the technology, with the specific studios coming in like YRF, etc., the individual producer somehow is left alone and there's too much of sort of over corporatization or over commercialization of Bollywood?
See, according to me, a producer should be a jack of all trades. He should know what a story is. He should know what actors are. He should know what screenplay is. He should know what music is. He should know how to release the film and what distribution is. Unfortunately, we are lacking that now. People from the corporate world, they don't know much about the film industry, about films. They are a younger generation, and their thought process is to a limited knowledge. We have grown up seeing thousands of films. They are just grown up by seeing Hollywood films. So I'm sorry to say, but their approach towards film is very narrow. It is not wide.
But don't you think that corporatization has actually helped Bollywood in getting that money which is needed? Otherwise, Bollywood, many saw as a sinking ship.
See, there are plus points also and minus points also. When I was making kites, I was trying to cross over. So I went to Hollywood and I met Warner Brothers. I went to all the studios over there. They used to have a round table conference. And I used to see there used to be an editor over there used to be a writer over there used to be a dialogue writer there used to be producers, there used to be 2-3 other directors who used to listen to everything, because those are the people who have made a lot of films and they're on the board. But here it is not like that. They're all youngsters. So when I used to meet them, so when in the board meetings, they were all stalwarts who were listening to me, to my story, and they were advising me what to do, how to go about it. But it's not here like that. अब तो यहाँ ऐसा है कि they want to make proposals कि मेरे पास ये एक्टर है हाँ चलो चलो बनाते हैं. So they are only seeing the money part of it. They are not seeing the
Rigor part.
creative part of
The
it.
creative part of the rigor part of it.
The highs and lows that you've seen in your career, several setbacks, a lot of successes, memorable roles, remarkable journey in many ways. What, according to you, has been the high point?
For me, I actually am a very middle class man. I still switch off the light when I go outside the room. At home also, when I see if the lights are on, I switch off the lights. So that's what my family has also learned from me. I have seen a lot of failures in life. Right from the beginning, when my father left us alone when I was 17 only. And there was a dark tunnel for me. I didn't know where I'm going to go, because there was no factory that I could run. So I had to struggle a lot, and in that struggle I always wanted to be an actor, but somehow I couldn't be a very successful actor. काम की तारीफ होती थी, पिक्चर कामयाब भी होती थी, और पर मैं उस मकाम तक नहीं पहुंच पाया जहां where I wanted to reach. So your question is that what is the high point I like? I don't take. I got success later in life as a director, but that I didn't take it seriously. I said, no, this is temporary. This can go away. I must work hard again. So I kept working and kept working, and that kept me going.
You are a humble man, Mr. Roshan. Your work was very well acclaimed, and you're amongst the few. As you say, there are superstars and all. There are stars, and you're amongst those very few. We all, when we were growing up, have recognized your work, and I think the world has also. But this is a question that only a few can be asked. We've interviewed a lot of people in Bollywood, but only a few people can be asked this question that I'm going to ask you. Where I think we'll also wrap up the interview unless Maria has a question to ask. How is it working with your own son?
It's a great feeling. It's so good that I know him so well and he knows me very well. So whenever I narrate him a subject and narrate his role to him, he understands it very well and he knows that if my father is narrating me this, he will bring it exactly on the screen the same way. And I also know that if I am thinking of a role for him and he is going to put his best foot forward and he will do much better than what I am thinking. Good combination we have of a father and son, between a father and son.
Rakesh Roshan for several generations is also about that famous song, Koi Roko Na. Would you sing that for us, please?
No, I can't sing.
Or at least talk, hum or whatever.
No, I can't sing at all. मैं रोशन का नाम खराब कर दूंगा. बहुत मुश्किल से मैंने डॉक्यूमेंट्री बना के थोड़ा सा नाम कमाया है.
All right, sir.
As I said, you are a humble man, Mr. Roshan. You take your stardom very lightly, and it is very. I hope that this generation and coming generations learn something from people like you, who have attained so much in life, but still keep it very light.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Roshan, for joining NDTV.